Hang on a second, Tammy. I'll let you up. There you go. You're up.
All right, how you doing, man?
Pretty good about yourself.
Other than my knee hurting, I'm great. Did some walking today, so it hurt my leg. Besides
Right.
that, I'm good.
I'm trying. I don't know if notifications went out or not.
It went out. I mean, I don't know if, at least to me, I mean, but I've gotten notifications that other people ain't gotten before, and vice versa. You know,
Oh, okay.
so you never know when you're going to get a notification.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just decided to bring one up today just to chill and chat and so forth and discuss topics. My nephew wants to talk about ketamine, the way the cops use it to subdue people and stuff.
Right. And how they use it to overdose people like they did in Colorado.
Yeah, he was going. He was
Yep,
going.
the Elijah McCain is the one that died in suburban Denver, Colorado.
Yep.
That's one of the topics tonight.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting that they're even able to use it and legally use it,
Yeah, he
knowing that
didn't.
it can be used as a drug that can kill people immediately.
Yeah, he didn't realize that it was an animal tranquilizer, and they use it. I'm like, yep, it's an animal tranquilizer.
Yeah, yeah, it's for animals, not human consumption. It
Yep.
even says it on the packaging when they get it.
Yeah, we're going to talk of that because last night I was at an officer involved shooting, and I broadcasted live, and I did two still videos of it. And he was talking to one of the firefighters up there, and they were saying they have the type of drugs to knock people out in like 10 seconds. And I says, well, that's what it is, ketamine.
We used to use ketamine for tranquilizing bears
That's what it was, bears. I thought it was horses there.
It's
when we
a
worked
hard
with the
drug.
Game and Fish Commission. When I worked with the Game and Fish Commission, we trap a nuisance bear, and then we use ketamine to tranquilize the bear. And
Yeah.
it don't take much.
No, he read something where like it dissolves in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that bear's out. It's out cold.
What's
As a
up,
matter of
Corey? How
fact.
you doing, buddy?
So yeah, ketamine is also it's also under the narcotics. It
Yeah,
falls
it
under
is.
narcotics. Uh,
Yeah, it is.
the the EPA, or yeah, not the EPA, but the drug enforcement people,
The
they're supposed to
DEA,
be regulating that as well.
See
right?
what got me on the subject because they talked about it last night. Then I went and looked at it today about because I thought about it today. But the really bad thing about it is because you know about the McCain one, they used a dog and then a stun gun and then subject to another law enforcement tool before he died.
Do what now?
Uh, Elijah McClain, the one that died from the sedating.
You're right.
They used the dog to attack him, and then they used to hit him with a stun gun. Then they subdued him with the ketamine.
Right. Right.
There's been a couple of people that's died over it.
Yep. And for what if you look at it, he was 2 times the lethal dose when they hit him with that. That's how much they hit him with. It's supposed to go by the weight of the person of the thing that's uh, uh, being
Subdued.
subdued. Uh, and I know an 800-pound black bear takes less than 20 cc's to put it out.
Right.
Okay, because we would give an 800-pound black bear approximately 15 to 16 cc's.
Yeah, and someone like me that's 125 or 120 pounds,
That's like a half a cc.
Yeah.
And this is also supposed to be it's supposed to be regulated by the alcohol, fire, drug enforcement, alcohol, firearms, drugs, whatever.
Yeah, alcohol, tobacco, and farms.
Yeah, them guys. Yeah, it's supposed to be regulated by them, and they aren't being held accountable for the overdoses being done to humans as
True.
well.
You're
And they
right.
should be held accountable because that is their jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And they should be held accountable.
Yeah, they should be. I agree 100%.
Just like how a lot of these cops nowadays, they're trying to swear up and down. Oh, I thought my gun was a taser.
Yeah, that like that bitch up there in Minnesota.
Yep.
She's got a bright yellow taser. She's holding it out in front of her. She can't tell the difference between a bright yellow taser and a black gun, and she can't tell the difference between a pound-and-a-half taser versus a 15-pound gun.
Yep.
Right. Because if I'm not mistaken, a taser and a gun are two different weights.
Yeah. And she's holding it out in front of her to shoot it, and you don't know the difference. I call bullshit.
No, I do too. And then they were saying on the news that the gun was on the right side and the taser was on the left side, and she went to her right side to grab it. Of course, right. I mean that's pretty obvious.
Yep. And I call a
now it'd be a little
bunch of bullshit on that.
Okay.
And
it'll be a little understandable if they had side by side.
And you know what our taxpayers, our tax money's doing right now? They moved her out of fucking Minnesota to Colorado, and our tax money is paying for 4 fucking National Guardsmen to protect her every fucking day and night.
Wow.
In
That's
Colorado.
A waste of money.
Did you hear about the that bill that they passed in 2020 in Colorado, the Senate Bill 217?
What? What one? I don't know.
It says it's the Senate Bill 217 required law enforcement agencies to collect and report to the state a vast amount of data to the police. That includes racial data on officers' encounters with the public, where the interaction took place, and the circumstances, including the suspect crime that occurred that led up to the situation.
Okay. So they got to now tell someone inside their precinct, that is one of them, that they went and shot someone where, how, and why. So now they can cover it up better.
Yep. That's like last night, the officer involved shooting we was on. Come to find out today, when they released the body cam footage, it was a mentally unstable person. And the mother called 911 and told him that he might have a gun, which, according to the police, they haven't released the whole body cam yet. They just released a little bit of it. But according to the body cam, you hear him shoot at an officer, or an officer shoot at him or something. But anyway, the regular police didn't do anything. They had to call the SWAT team out, and the SWAT team was the one that killed him and shot him. And I got video where they was decontaminating the SWAT, and they was decontaminating everybody else. It was weird. But they shot him.
What, are they afraid the guy had cooties or something?
Yeah, I guess.
Contaminate from cooties?
I guess. I don't know what it was.
They ain't got to worry. Mental illness runs deep in the police departments. They ain't got to worry about getting mental illness from someone that's mentally ill.
Let me see if I can bring up that one of the videos. Let me see, and I'll share it, as you can see what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can bring it up.
Go ahead and talk while I'm turning this video up. Bud?
Let me see if I can bring.
Just like how do you know? Does your where are you from? What state are you from?
Well, I was originally born and raised till I was 12 in Missouri. Then I moved for 30-some years. For 35 years, I lived in Florida. Then for about a year and a half, I lived in Pennsylvania, and now for about a year and a half, I lived in New York.
So, does your state have the oversight committee?
Does New York have an oversight committee? Yeah, but the oversight committee is the cops themselves.
Yeah, that's what it is. In my opinion, it's like a jury trial that's in secret that nobody can know, to give them a chance to come up with a story to be like, oh well, this happened and this happened, knowing it didn't happen.
Yeah, See, that's what I see these oversight committees, or especially when they're policing themselves. That's all they're doing is getting their stories straight and rehearsing their stories, and that's why it takes so long. So they know they got it in their brain good enough to know they can rehearse the story, and then they only tell the story once. Have you ever noticed that?
Yep. Because they don't want to get they don't want to get the story mixed up. They don't want to say something different.
Right. And then you can't talk to the cop no more. After that one time, that story's done. The cops don't talk no more.
That is true. Let me see if I can bring this video. And you'll see them. You'll see the fire department spraying down all these officers. Just watch. Just if I can bring it up real quick.
But see, you know about does he know about New Breed News?
Huh?
Does he know about New Breed News?
I don't know if he does.
Do you know about the group dedicated that the auditors come up with called New Breed News?
No, I don't.
Let me see if I can bring this up here.
It's a New Breed News is a new person. You explain it better.
It's a community that we're coming up with for new auditors that are just starting out, where we'll have bail money for them if they get arrested, if they need cameras, stuff like that. If they need help in getting going on what they need to do, there's going to be someone around to try to help them, and a couple of stuff like that. It's going to be a good thing. We're in the process of getting it started right now.
Awesome.
And awesome. It's for new auditors.
Sounds like a good thing.
And I'm gonna split this through, but it's 3 videos, but they're real short. This first video, the cop told me, this is the 3rd police officer that's told me they did not have crime scene tape, because I actually walked in. Let me pause this and I'll tell you. I actually walked in the middle of a crime scene and they didn't have no crime scene tape up. And then this officer told me once to leave, which was a hostage negotiator. And I was like, okay, there's supposed to be crime scene tape up. And then I went back on it because they still didn't put no crime scene tape up. And one of the Metro officers said, well, you need to leave. And I was like, well, where's your crime scene tape? Y'all are supposed to have crime scene tape up. And he says, well, we can't afford crime scene tape right now, so you're going to have to leave off the property and go across the street.
They can't afford 99 cents out of their own goddamn pocket. That's what one of them rolls of crime scene tapes cost.
But then get this. 5 minutes after I mentioned that, another officer came by and put a whole bunch of crime scene tape up. Here's a little bit of the video. You'll see there's no crime scene tape on this one. We'll see.
Okay, guys, I do not know what's going on here. There's local media right there.
Okay, let me get to the full screen.
It's a crime scene. We have the mobile command unit here. Alright, guys, this is News Now Preston Nashville. I do not know what I came across here. Do you know how long they've been out here, buddy?
This happened at 5:30 yesterday afternoon.
5:27.
And they didn't. I got there about 7:30. Hold on, it ain't finished yet.
2 hours. Can you remember what happened?
I know they stopped this area. There are a couple of banks back there.
That's me asking what's going on in the local media, but they didn't know anything either.
Don't quite know.
While the local.
Normally, I'm right here.
While the local media was there, they heard more gunshots. So I'm assuming that the media that heard the gunshots was the officers that shot the guy.
Right.
They were broadcasting live.
More media too, so I didn't even know nothing about it, so I got a call from someone about it.
Yes, Corey, that was nephew in the background.
Yeah. That'd be one of the spots.
Do what, Tammy?
Corey was asking if that was nephew.
Oh, yeah, that's nephew.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have SWAT, they have Box 55.
Okay, you see the crime scene. You see the crime scene tape on the right there, right?
Police officers.
But yeah, wait till I move here.
Major.
There's no crime scene right there on this side of the public property right here. None whatsoever. It ends right there. Now watch. Let me see if I can get out where the officer tells me I need to move.
Safe. Scene is safe. You're not supposed to drive in. Okay. They're supposed to bring the injuries to us. Okay. Military medic. 3-0. Because if we're not alive, we can't save people's lives. I didn't think about it that way. I was going to say y'all. You have to go.
Let's see here. Yeah, this is it. This is where the guy's telling me I need to move back.
They are in the line.
Okay, now watch closely, Tammy.
Brentwood and Metro City line. But I am not sure what's going on. Like I said, I just pulled up on the scene. I'm trying to find a sergeant to see if I can get some information.
And you notice there's no crime scene on that public property whatsoever, but watch.
Right.
You with the police, sir? Okay. Let's see if I can go find a sergeant. Maybe a sergeant can tell me what's going on.
He says, hey, Corey. He said, hey, nephew.
Oh, hey, everybody.
Okay, now listen to the directives. This is a hostage negotiator that's telling me this.
Who's I can get a sergeant? Well, hey, can I speak to a sergeant?
Somebody will be over there to meet the media.
They are coming over in a minute.
Yeah, somebody will be over there to talk to you just a little bit, okay?
Okay, I do know this is part of the crime scene.
You gotta stay back
Yeah,
on
but
the
if it was a crime scene, it's still be taped off. Yes, I will, but I'm just letting you know it's still be taped off.
We'll take care of it.
Alright.
Thank you.
Because we're not taped off.
Sir, you can report. I just need to stay back.
I know, like I said, I didn't know it wasn't marked, so.
Alright, I just need to stay back.
Alright. Okay, he's a negotiator.
Okay, now you heard how he was directing me on that, right?
Yeah.
And you see there's still no crime scene tape up whatsoever in this. Let me see if I can find the other officer that tells me the same thing.
Hey, Dragon.
See, no crime scene still up. No crime scene tape still up. None whatsoever.
What's up, Ross Khan? How you doing, buddy?
Let's see if somebody really gets bad in the back of the name. We do have drugs.
Okay, now listen to what this officer says, Tammy.
All right.
Yeah, he's the one who's at the wreck. Hey, I'm just looking for a sergeant.
Oh, maybe a little while for you. Gentlemen, please. If you want to film, you're more than welcome to. Please get off. This sidewalk will go across there. Okay? Doing that first right now. Unfortunately, we don't have enough space to go around over the building. Their cars, we can't have you sitting right here.
Okay. How come Metro can't afford crime safe? How come Metro can't afford crime safe? I'm just curious.
I don't have any.
Oh, okay. You're like the third officer that has told me that they can't afford crime safe.
Well, I don't think that's enough for me.
I know. I'm just kind of odd. Like, her different one to tell me the same story.
That's all right. The police.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Thank you.
Oh, you got a card?
I do not. We don't carry any cards.
And one more time, let me get your name and badge number one more time.
Pena.
Pena.
4449.
Okay, thank you.
You have your video ready?
Yeah, no, I just got it uploaded a while, man.
What are you?
Gerald, give me one of my cards.
Yeah, I've got business cards made out now. So every time an officer asks me who I am, it's got my YouTube channel on it because I am not giving them my information.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I cannot. We don't give out information to our Don Aaron has to give all the information that's given out a statement because I don't have all that and I don't want to give you that. I don't know if it's about my pay grade.
But is he supposed to? I mean, someone's supposed to be briefing us on what's going on. This is what I do, buddy. And if you look at it, it's just independent journal.
I'm not going to promise something that I don't know. All I know is that whenever they have all their facts straight, he's going to let me use So, for the time being, this remain on the sidewalk. Don't get the vehicle. The police will go in there and have some cars here. All right? Thanks.
And you see that black-headed officer just walked by behind that fire truck thing?
Yeah.
He goes up there and talks to my live ended right here. So this is where I took up the my phone, my actual live stopped for some reason. But I go to still footage after this. But that black-headed guy right there is the one that goes over there, talks to the hostage negotiator, and then he goes and puts tape all around those fire trucks. You'll see in just a minute on the next one. If it might be on this, I'm not sure. Let's see.
Crazy
Nope, not this one. As you notice, still 18 minutes into the video, no crime scene tape.
Find out what's going on.
Right. And you were late too, so
Yeah, exactly. And let me bring up part 2 where you see the crime scene tape put up. It's just
wow, it took them over 2.5 hours to get that done for what you were saying.
yeah, it did. It was 2.5 hours. What's up, Dragon ET? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Dragon ET?
Hey, Dragon.
Let me see if I can find the other one where you actually see him putting up the crime scene tape.
Hey, Tammy, guess what I just found out?
I don't think he heard you. I think he was asking your question, Tammy.
What's that?
You know what I found out?
Huh.
You know how the police are using the ketamine, like I was talking about the ketamine, people using it, and the EMTs and them using it.
Uh-huh.
They have to call fire departments and get permission from them to get a ketamine waiver in order to use it.
Why in the fuck the fire department when they ain't in charge of that? They ain't drug, firearm, and alcohol. They ain't
I know
DEA.
that's what I wrote down on here. I wrote it down on here. It's like ketamine waiver from fire departments in the states.
Well, wow.
So they're,
Unless they're putting
Yeah.
DEA on the fire department now, undercover DEA agents.
Yep, it says right here in Colorado, an officer must apply for a ketamine waiver from one of the state's 90 fire departments or emergency medical service agencies, saying that the suspect in their custody is suffering from excited delirium, according to the Denver, Colorado Post.
Dragon ET, I don't know how to answer that one.
Undercover DEA agents on the fire department now, huh?
I know, right?
If they put crime scene tape up around me, I guess I'm considered part of the crime scene. I guess you would say. I don't know. That's kind of a hard question to answer there, Dragon ET. In this video coming up, you'll see the crime scene tape go up, and then you'll see a white SUV, which is a TBI. That's the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. That's the one that always does the police shootings and stuff like that. This TBI agent, I kept waving at him to come here, roll his window down because I wanted to ask him a question. He just ignored me and went straight across the street. You'll probably see that one. I think it's on this one. But here's when they finally put the crime scene tape up. Remember, 18 minutes now. Remember that.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Give it just a minute, let it load up.
Yeah, even for us to tranquilize a bear, we had to have a signed waiver from the DEA.
I know.
Hey guys, this is News Now.
Okay, this is where they're decontaminating the people.
They are decontaminating SWAT, negotiators, all kinds of stuff out here, guys. This is part 2 of the video that I was just doing live. I am not sure what is going on, but they've got crime scene tape wrapped all the way around this.
But that's not the part where
Fairfield.
the fire trucks was at, Tammy. They still haven't put it up yet, but you'll see in just a second.
I have seen the district attorney of investigations pop out. I've seen hostage negotiators out here. I am not sure what is going on. As you can see, the ones in the camouflage right there, that would be SWAT.
Dragon wants to know if this was in Brentwood.
Right before you get to Brentwood, it was the county line. If you're familiar with that area, it was right there at Concord Road, which if you go up one street, you're in Williamson County. You come back one street, you're in Davison County. But yes, that was in Brentwood. Now you look, the last one I showed you was 18 and some odd minutes. I immediately started recording after my live died. 23 minutes and 9 seconds is what this whole video is. But they still have not got the crime scene tape up yet.
All right.
But you see, we got.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. There it is. There's the crime scene tape.
Box 55.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
It automatically came up with crime scene tape instantly, wasn't it?
Yeah. Even
After
though they can't afford it.
Right.
Even though they can't afford the 99 cents it takes for them to buy it.
Right. After they said that they can't afford it, and after I went up there, violated it like 3 times and got removed from it.
Right. Right.
The other side over there.
Let me see if I can find you where you see them spraying down the officers.
You've got the mobile command unit.
Yeah, there you go. That they're spraying down.
Yeah.
This video, they're spraying down the shoes and bulletproof vest that had blood all over it.
Oh, okay.
But I walked over this thing 3 times, and now look, there's a whole bunch of crime scenes. It came up with like that out of the blue. I called Channel 2, and she said it was a shoe.
Now I can understand the decontamination.
That is a lady right there.
Stay right here, I'll be right back.
I ain't going over there.
Well, I'll be right back. I gotta get to use the restroom.
All right. Let me see who's all in the chat right now. Oh, so you saw it in Brentwood, huh, Dragon? Yep, they were blocking me, Dragon. So this is going to be it. Yes, Dragon, it did. Thank you. And I sent you an email and yeah, I sent you an email on it too, and I appreciate it. I was trying to get you one of my business cards. Oh, okay. You got the email? Okay, so you got the email. I'm glad you did. And you didn't have to do that. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, you can do that, or actually, if you don't want people seeing it in here on private, then just send it to me in my email, and I will send you a few of them if you would like. Okay, thank you. I will just like I said, if you want to, just send it to me in the email. That way, no one will see it but me. I sent out a notification for everybody that I was going to be on at 6:30. I guess the notifications didn't go up. Yeah, that is crazy. I didn't know. Glad you found out now. But yeah, I just happened to drive up on this when I was heading home from fishing, and a friend of mine actually a friend of mine actually called me. He works right over there, and he asked me what was going on, and I didn't know what was going on. My scanner was off, so I really couldn't tell. But then when I got there, it took me a minute to find out what's going on. And then when the chief of police did an interview with the media, no apologies, Dragon. When the police did a media press for it, they said it was a mentally unstable person. And so I got that on the other video too. Yeah, I know it does happen a lot. Yeah, me and News Now nephew was coming back from fishing. I was hoping to have a special guest tonight, but I guess he couldn't make it tonight. I was trying to have NYC Tyrant Hunter on my show tonight. He said let him know when I do another one. So I think I gave him a little too late notice. I would love to get him on one of my panels and just interview him. I really would.
Well, that's his problem.
Yeah, it seems to be news seems to follow me.
How you doing? I'm back. You there? Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Me and Dragon was just carrying on conversations while he was gone.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to have to bail on you there real quick. I had to go, though. You know, when you got to go, you got to go.
Fast forward a little bit. So I can catch that, show you that TBI agent.
I don't see Channel 5 out here.
I even got an interview with the assistant chief and the chief of police here. They're the ones that was telling everybody what was going on after the fact. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is a TBI agent right here. This one would not let his window down or anything because I was flagging him down like I needed help to ask him a question, but he just basically ignored me. You'll see here in a second. As soon as my video stops buffering.
K9 unit if the
Okay.
person's dead. Unless there's somebody
You
still
think
alive.
you weren't dying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, guy.
do what, Tammy?
I said, be thankful you weren't dying.
What'd you say, Tammy?
Right?
Exactly. But I don't understand. The guy's already been shot, and then another K9 unit.
Dude, they waste
I was
more
just
tax
saying,
money
throwing
with
in
that
K9
bullshit
unit
than
out
any.
here.
They
Why
got to
do
make
you not
themselves
know?
look important,
Exactly.
man. That's it.
You'll see here in just a second. You'll see a TBI agent pull up, and you'll see me flagging him down. He just ignores me and goes across the street.
There's
Right
a sergeant
there. Watch.
there.
See, there I am walking over to him to try to get help.
Yeah.
And he just ignores me.
Huh? Oh, that's TBI. That's TBI. Okay, guys, we just had the TBI unit just drove up on scene. So that answers my question. It was an officer-involved shooting. I'm not sure.
And there he is right there. If you see it, he's parked right across from where I'm parked at. He probably took a picture of me, but, you know, I don't care. But he's right there. Is his car right there. Right there. You'll see me walk up to him and try to get a picture of him.
That right there, guys, is a TBI unit. Right
Yep,
there.
I see it now. He did cam back. I see it now.
Yep.
Yep, I seen
For
that. He
cam.
did do a cam back on that one.
Yep. I'd FOIA his ass just to get that fucking shit.
Exactly. I'm like, really? So I wish I'm glad I wasn't shot, or I wasn't, you know, in dire need of help.
Mm-hmm. Right. Why these motherfuckers just don't care?
Right.
Pandora.
What's up, Pandora? Welcome.
Hey, Pandora's press box. Hey, Mike V-Dog.
What's up, Mikey? We're just sitting here chilling, talking about ketamine, and I was showing some videos of the police-involved shooting that I had got around last night.
I might not be on here long. I got a pretty bad headache. So, just letting you know. This Tylenol won't
share
work
this
on
last
it.
video. I'm going to share this last video where the police chief interviewed, and you'll hear him say it was a mentally challenged. Well, he says mentally unstable person, but I don't think that's the correct way to call someone that. That's just me. I'd rather call them mentally challenged or something. You know, show them a little bit of dignity and respect. Let's see if I can bring that part up. And then that'll be all the videos that I've got on that. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. And somebody made a comment in this video about they stumble and fall, and that's how they're trying to cover up their asses or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Here's part 30. Oops. Pause.
I wished I could say that, and that's why I got a headache, Pandora, but I can't
Do what,
say
Tammy?
that. I said, she says I'm recovering from Saturday. Ha, ha, ha. I said, I wished I could say that. That way I would understand why I have a headache. Right now, I don't. I should. The only thing I can think of is just with all this weather change and all this and all that right now here, it's affected my sinuses. It's what it feels like, and it's giving me a massive headache right now.
right? And you can actually, in this, you can hear the stuttering in the chief's voice. And to me, he's kind of lying, but he's kind of not. But to me, I don't know. You just watch the video and you'll see how he stutters. Get started. I just wish my live hadn't died. I would love to have got all this live, but stuff happens.
Yeah, I ain't got no Allegra right now, Dragon. I tried to use it.
All right, come on, load up. My internet
Yeah,
sucks here for
it's
some
me.
reason.
I know
Come on.
StreamYards likes to take up a lot of bandwidth, so it might be that. You trying to run it through StreamYards and shit.
I just don't understand. Yeah, that's true too.
If you already got a semi-low bandwidth because of you being because of your service provider, then it'll just eat it all up real quick.
Here it is.
Wow, Dragon E. I'm sorry for you on that, man.
Okay, guys, this is Newtown Preston, Nashville. This is part 3 of the officer involved shooting on Nolensville and Couchville. Nolensville and Concord. We're waiting on the police spokesman right now to come out. Should be out any moment.
Just listen to how they describe this person. It's sad, you ask me.
Hey, bro. Are you local news? Yeah, I'm with the Williamson homepage. Check my card. There might be some videos on my webpage.
Well, they got to describe them in the worst light as they can because the cop shot them.
Waiting on the police. Do they know how long she'll be? I'm not sure. I mean, obviously they're set up for a shot, but also there's some that he kind of indicated that there wasn't going to be anybody. But
I ain't even got that, Dragon E.
Well, Channel 2, their thing that I got the alert said that Christina Pullum or whoever it is supposed to be making a speech. Yeah, that's what she said. But I'm an individual journalist myself. So independent journalist. My name is Preston. Yeah, nice to meet you.
This guy was, I gave him one of my business cards because he's an independent journalist.
Person in an auditor. I go around.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wouldn't say auditor, constitutionalist, but that way.
Hey, I'm very familiar.
And I just record stuff, make sure they're doing their job right.
And I was out here earlier.
Exactly, Dragon.
They just put the transcript that I think I made to put it because I was standing right there where that.
Yeah, they don't want anybody that
And he
shoots.
says, "I'm sorry, we can't. Metro can't afford."
They tried to do that to Floyd.
That we
remember, right?
That this was considered a crime scene.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, down that way.
Come on, there it is.
Yeah, earlier I got some.
This is the assistant chief, and then the other guy behind him is the actual police chief of Metro. And listen to this guy right here didn't want to answer no questions.
Okay, guys, this is the police spokesperson.
At that point, the question necessarily, I know it's probably going to be a live shot. Not to see how. Once he does, very, very early investigation, obviously, you guys involved and everything else. We'll glad to sit around afterwards and kind of answer the secondary questions if we need to. But he's going to give a brief statement.
Do we know if he's going to do the statement at exactly 10?
We can do it right now if you want to. Would that be easier for y'all?
We would prefer to take it live at 10.
Yeah, it would just transition.
Okay, no, that's
Yeah,
fine.
so would my viewers would too, officer.
3 minutes? Okay. That's fine. Again, please, we're not going to do any questions afterwards. I'll be glad to get any kind of general ones you need to off camera after that, just clarify things.
It's just a very fluid situation, but we always want to get out as much as we can.
We can just give it a couple seconds after
If
we're
not,
done.
get there's body camera footage involved. As always, what we've done before, we're going to have that push out immediately. It's a matter of downloading it, processing, and making sure we get it out.
Chief?
Sir?
Is that Chief?
Yeah.
Assistant?
Chris Taylor.
Okay. Can you give me your employee ID and your name, please?
Just for my record, Chris Taylor, point number 215203.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have Chief right here. I'll hold the spot when y'all are ready. Let us know. We'll be right here. We'll come in front now and have kind of fun.
So you said about 3 minutes?
Not one.
Okay, here's where the chief's just gonna come up right now. About a minute.
Is that Chief Drake? Okay, guys, we got a little bit of update coming up on what's going on. I guess they said they're not going to be able to answer any questions right now.
About a minute.
About a minute? Okay, that's good.
In 1 minute. In 1 minute, guys, we'll have an update on what's going on out here. We've got Assistant Chief Chris Taylor, and we also have Metro National Police Chief Drake.
Can you pause that for a second, Chris?
He said the body cam footage is
Yeah.
going to be available.
You know what really concerned me there? Okay.
What's that?
They just shot and killed a person. And they're sitting there
Right.
laughing and joking and cutting up like nothing happened.
Yep, I noticed that myself.
That is concerning to me. No remorse.
Very.
No nothing. They're laughing,
Wait until you hear
joking, cutting up, having a good time after they just killed a person.
Wait until you hear the chief talk. He kind of paused because I asked him, was the subject dead? Was a suspect dead or is he still alive? He paused for a second before he said that he's deceased. You'll see in a second.
But it's going to take a minute because they got to upload it and download it.
But I do have to admit, one good thing about Metro, though, is they do instantly get out their body cams as soon as like a police shooting happens and, you know, something major happens with the police department. The new chief, which you'll meet here in a minute, he's really strict on transparency to a point. But on this part, I did not like the way he acted. You'll see.
Here's Chief Drake right now. How you doing, Chief?
How you doing, Chief?
He does.
There we go.
There we go.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. This afternoon, we received calls for homicidal and suicidal individuals that had threatened harm to people. Officers responded, negotiated for several hours, and they contacted Mobile Crisis to have them come to the scene. After continuous negotiations, they had an encounter with an individual fired a shot at officers. The scene was turned over to
And there's how he's stuttering.
negotiators who tried to continue communications with the individual. And at one point, the individual produced a weapon and fired at officers again, and also returned fire. That's all we have right now. It's still under investigation. Keep your eyes here, as well as the video is like boy. We do have body worn camera and video, and that'll be downloaded and be put out as soon as we can. Just to continue being transparent. That's all I have at this time.
See, he keeps looking right dead at me.
Okay, Chief, can you just let me know if the suspect, did he live or did he...
He is deceased.
He is deceased. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, guys, there you go. It was a mental suspect.
But did you notice how he was stuttering his words to try and tell the story? And you noticed how he kind of paused there for a split second before he told me if the guy was dead or alive.
Yeah. Yep. I really have a problem with what I did there. Honestly, I did, but did they do anything wrong by the way he said the story? Not really. I mean, it did look like he was trying to avoid a subject there for a second. And then he realized he best not, after especially him saying that I want to be as transparent as possible. Yeah,
Right.
he would have been going against his words if he wouldn't have said something. And I think that's why he probably initially didn't want to tell you he was dead, but then had to because he just said he wanted to be as transparent as possible.
Exactly. That's what the whole thing about him trying to change the story up there. Like Dragon says, he didn't even want to say that. He really didn't, like you just said. He didn't want to say that. But he already admitted that there's a shooting.
He wanted to be as transparent as possible.
Exactly.
You caught him in his own catch-22.
Exactly.
That was great.
Like Dragon says, if I hadn't asked him that, he never would have said it.
Yep, you're right.
The local media didn't even ask that question. They was like, okay, just give us an update, and that was it. That's not how you do news. That's not how you interview.
Dude, haven't you noticed fucking news is not news anymore? It's propaganda. They did not want that part of the story out that he was dead yet, for the simple fact they wanted the propaganda media to run the story as this guy was so bad and this is why.
Yep, exactly. That's
and
what.
Then later on at night, either later on that evening or the next morning, then they would have said, "Well, yeah, he died." Da 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 da.
Right. And that's something in the back of my head was saying, yeah, I better ask this question because if not, it's going to be 2 or 3 or 4 days later when they say, oh, the suspect died 2 days later in the hospital or this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell he did not want to answer that question.
Oh, yeah. But like I said, you got him in his own catch-22 there. When he sat there and said, well, I want to be as transparent as possible. That was the perfect time right afterwards to catch him in that. Either you would have showed he wasn't being transparent as possible, or you got the answer to your question.
Right. And if somebody would have asked him that, or like say another reporter would have asked him before I did, he would have said it's still under investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing they just killed this man 4 or 5 hours ago.
Mm-hmm. Dragon, they make a mockery of transparency, and people fall for it though, because they're used to not getting anything at all for so many years. Okay, for so many years they didn't get anything at all. So anytime they just give out just a tad bit of information, that's transparency to a lot of people. Okay, they don't understand. You can ask a question, and you need to ask these questions, just like Preston did, to get true transparency. Or they're just going to give you just as little as they can, and then call it transparency.
Exactly. Like I said, that's the only thing good that I can see of Metro right now is if something like a police shooting happens, they usually release it within 12 to 24 hours after a shooting. That's one thing that chief is good for. He's good at getting the body cam footage out. He's really good at that. Mm-hmm. But this right here just I just did not feel right. I needed
Yeah, but if
something
you
back
wouldn't
in my
have
head
asked,
just told me to ask that.
if you wouldn't have asked that, they would have put that body cam footage out and only showed bits and pieces of body cam footage to make that guy look as bad and nasty and sound bad as nasty as he could. And then all of a sudden, yeah, by the way, he died. We killed him.
Yep.
But and that's the way they would have gone, and it would have went in sections. Okay. Nightly news tonight at 10 o'clock. Yes, the police had a shootout with a guy, and this is what the spokesperson had to say, and that's where they would have left it. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
And then tomorrow he would have had a news conference again. Okay. Somewhere else, like on the Capitol steps or in front of the police station or whatever. Okay. And then he would have let it be known that the guy was killed.
Yep.
So it gave it time to sink in. Oh, this guy was a bad guy. This guy was not right in the head. We had to shoot him. They've been doing that type of shit for years.
Yeah.
I know how it works. I had been around law enforcement for a little while, when I worked with Game of Fish. Okay. I learned a lot of their little tricks on how they handle things. And that was one of their little tricks on how they handle things. Okay. That just to make them look better and the guy they shot look bad. So even if it comes out it was a bad shooting, the guy was a bad guy. See, we proved he was a bad guy. So we still had the right to shoot him. Okay. And that's what they tried to do. And they tried to get the public to back them on that. Okay. These blue line suckers, as I call them, they really need to wake up to this because eventually it's going to come to their doorstep. And I'm seeing it more and more happen. The ones that suck that thin blue line are having it more and more come to their doorstep. I didn't think cops would do that. Well, you've been warned for 15 years, and you've been saying that we're full of shit.
Yeah.
We tried to warn you for 15 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think
that's how they were trying to justify Floyd's killing. Oh, yep. Floyd did this when he was back in the day when he was 20 years ago, 15 years ago, he did this, but there wasn't nothing that he did wrong all the way up till the time he passed off a fake $20 bill. And guess what? Let me tell you something about a fake $20 bill. I don't know anybody who counterfeits any money, but I've had two in my possession now in my lifetime. And one came from a fucking bank and the other one came from a fucking store.
Yep.
Okay.
News my nephew got paid his paycheck with all counterfeit bills. He went to go purchase something. They found it was a counterfeit. So his company he worked with had to come and pick that money up before he got arrested for counterfeiting.
Right. There you go. I mean, this type of that guy may have not even known he had a bad $20 bill. We'll never know because he's dead now.
Right. What's up, ECCW?
Yeah. Because like I said, I even got a bad counterfeit $20 bill from a bank. Okay. A bank. You wouldn't think you'd get anything like that from a bank.
Right.
But I got one from a bank. And that's why if I ever do transactions through a bank, I make them mark every freaking bill they hand to me now. They have to get one of them markers that show me if it's counterfeit or not.
Yep. Before
I take that money. And every bill has to be done that way. Because I was out $20 out of my paycheck, by the way. because of that. Because they said, well, you can't prove it came from here. That's what they said. I said, I got my money from you. Yeah, so we don't know what you did when you left here. And that's what they told me.
All right.
Okay. So needless to say, I was out $20 out of my paycheck. Now every bank, anytime I do any dealings with a bank and I get money from a bank, every bill has to be marked with one of them counterfeit markers.
Yep, like Dragon ET says down there. She says, yeah, and they change the bills all the time. So how do you know if they are or how do you know if they're not?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing good, ECCW.
Yeah, even these counterfeiters have gotten so good that they put a strip in the damn thing. It makes it look like the strip that's supposed to be in there, even though it ain't. But if you ain't tearing it out of the bill, you can't tell. They're getting really good at this counterfeit crap. Okay, so you can't. They even got watermarks. They can do the watermark now. Okay,
Yep, they can.
So you can't tell if you're getting a counterfeit bill just by watermarks and that little strip in it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have that pen that says, yeah, that's the right paper or it ain't the right paper. And that's that. And once it shows that it's the right paper, you got the chemical analysis on it that shows that it was the right paper, then someone else has to deal with it. Okay. Not you. If somehow they got the paper that they use over there to make bills in the government. So
yeah, you're right.
Well, ECCW, I've been going by that name for 8.5 years now. So, well, not quite 8.5 years.
What's up, any fan?
6.5 now.
Slow burner.
Hey, fan. Hey, slow burner. Slow burner came in too. Hope y'all are doing good, guys. But if you don't want to call me Tammy, just call me Will. WILL. My real name is William, so you can call me Will for short.
Yeah, they just hang on a second, Jimbo. I'm gonna put the mute on. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna let News Now Nephew talk to you for a second while I go on a phone call real quick.
All right.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, what?
Hey, News Now Nephew.
Oh man, I've been working hard on this new thing that be coming out. I've been coming up with body cam footage and everything for our channel.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, I got 20 videos that I got this on the website that our tech guy that stays with us. He's got a website made for our new breed news, and I'm the person that looks for the videos and body cam footage for them.
Oh, cool, awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I found one video on it that's pretty good. It's talking about
yeah, what's that?
Police and law enforcement personnel and their mental states, how they deal with everything and how they go through everything, and how it it changes them with PTSD and everything.
Well, that's why I say they should at minimum every 2 months have to go have a psychiatric evaluation.
Yep,
a cop should, because it is a very taxing and very mentally taxing job, and it's easy for them to crack. So honestly, they should have a mental evaluation a minimum of every 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Make sure they're still fit for the job, because some of them can
go
get crazier and not know what they're doing, or some can get upset, or some can break down. And like a lot of police officers, a lot of them, their family, they have to deal with their family, and they bring their work home and don't leave it at work and everything.
Okay.
Yep.
Because see, my uncle's in the Army. He's a E9, and when him and his wife were together, every time he came home from work, he brought his work home. That's why him and his wife got a divorce.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It tears families apart.
Yep. You're right. And a lot of police officers that don't do anything out on the street. Also, they fucking take it out on their wives at home by beating them and things like that.
I mean, look at it. Yes, Dragon, you can call me nephew. Like me myself, I have anxiety, stress, depression, bipolar, and ADHD, and I'm not even part of law enforcement. But what I deal with is hard if I don't have my medication. And just imagine me if me as a civilian have those kind of problems. Just imagine how the police force has.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I said mental illness. They don't have to worry about getting mental illness from a mentally ill person. That's why when I made that joke earlier, because mental illness goes deep in the police. They are mentally strained and mentally ill people after a while. You can't tell me dealing with that type of pressure day in and day out that it don't put a strain on their mental capabilities.
That's just like a lot of people like lately here. There's been a lot of situations going on with cops or getting overtaken. Or this is how I look at it. It's just like once they get that badge on, they think they're better than everybody. Once they hit that, I got a piece of metal stating that I got a badge and an employee number and this and that. That don't mean you're not human. Everybody's human. They have to treat humans like humans, not like animals.
Well, that's their problem. They don't think of us as human. They think of us like animals. As soon as that 10 badges on them. And then when one of the animals gets unruly, we got to put the animal down because it went rabid.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And they justify this. Well, they're getting to the point that justification is going out the window.
Yeah.
And they ain't liking it. That's why you're seeing such an uprising and spur in it. It's causing them to have worse mental breakdowns. I mean, like that fucking cop there in North Carolina when that man got shot in the arm 4 times, and then which made the guy stop his car. Okay, according to the video I saw, he didn't hit the gas; he stopped the car. Okay, and then they shot him in the head. Okay, but here's what they didn't want you to know. That when they did an interview with one of the next door neighbors, the guy had said, I wanted your superior here. And they refused to bring the superior. Well, he said, that's fine. I'm going to the police station now, and I'm going to talk to your superior. And he got in his car to go to the police station to talk to the superior. And they shot him and killed him for it.
To cover up what they did.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, and he was the one who called the police there. Okay. Due to a disturbance. He was the one who called the cops. He was the one that got assaulted. Okay. Yeah. And then he died for it as well.
Yeah. And my honest opinion, I'm not that good with dealing with things, but if you ask me, you know how a lot of times when cops have shoot-offs with other with criminals or people that do something wrong, they empty their whole clip on them. I mean, if you look at it, in my opinion, I feel like they should have. This might sound weird or not right that most people don't understand, but in my opinion, they should have like at the most 4 to 5 bullets in their gun.
I think they need a Barney Fife
with the 1 bullet.
Yeah, that too. Because
make them keep that bullet in their pocket until they say bring it out and give them 1 bullet at a time.
Yep. Because one bullet will stop somebody from doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But they treat you like a target, though. They see how good they can aim on you. That's what they do. They shoot you a whole clip out. They drop out a whole 10, 12 rounds on you.
Yep. Well, it's like that one deal just a little that we were talking over there on upstate. That guy, that cop, even his superior said the cop jumped out of his car and pulled his pistol.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't try to pull his taser. He did not try to pull his mace. He did not try to pull his billy club. He pulled his pistol. So that means he had every intentions of killing that man, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I mean, that how can you get if you've been in a police force for a long period of time? I can understand. You know, if you're new and you might not forget what side it is, but 90% of the time they know what side's got the taser on it.
Yeah, and that there you go on that. That lady in Minnesota. I'm holding it out in front of me, and I can't tell I got something that's bright yellow in my hand versus a black gun. And I can't tell the difference between a 1.5 pound taser versus a 15-pound gun either. And I shot him because I didn't know the difference. My ass.
Yeah,
I believe that about I believe this house is going to fly that I'm in. Okay, I just don't see this house flying anytime soon, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. That's right, Dragon ET. They need to learn how to, in my opinion, Dragon ET and Timmy and all y'all on here, I feel like, in my opinion, if a cop wants to shoot you, they should shoot to incapacitate you, not kill you. Like, at least get you where you're going to stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, why even carry a taser or a can of mace or a billy club if you ain't going to use them?
That's a waste of tax dollars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the gun is supposed to be the very last resort.
Yep.
Instead, it's becoming their first resort.
Yep. This economy is getting worse and worse. Just like how when they had that riot at the White House. Remember that riot where they had a big ass thing? My opinion, those cops did treated people so bad. But I mean, then the cop says, "Well, they came on to me first. That was self defense. There's no self defense if they ain't even touched you or even came at you."
Right. Yep. I mean, they're so they tried to claim self defense. I remember that black lady that they broke into their house a while back down there in the land down there in Georgia. They broke into her house. They tried to claim self defense against this woman. Okay, and it's why they shot her. And then the body cam footage, which was leaked by someone that it wasn't supposed to be leaked, it pissed off a lot of people. Okay, but it got leaked, and it showed the cops shooting her sound asleep in her bed. But they tried it all on the paperwork. It said they were doing it in self-defense.
Yeah, just like I was watching a video. One of the videos that I have that I gave to the tech guy for our new website that he made. I gave him one that's about this cop. These cops come to this house for a search warrant, but they don't. What they do is, you know how I say when they knock on the door, they'll knock on the door, say open. It's the police, open up.
Mm.
Well, they went and knocked on the door and said, "Open the door." And the guys inside the house, he's like, "No, I don't know who y'all are. Like y'all could be somebody trying to break in our house or trying to play something." But it's like, "No, open the door, sir. We need to get in. We have so and so paperwork to do this." He said, "Well, explain to me who you are," and they wouldn't tell him, so they kicked the door in. And he's got his grandson there, that's 5 or 6, and him and his grandson's the only one there. So he assumes, if they didn't say the police, he don't know who it could be. So he goes in, grabs his gun, and comes back and to protect his door. And he fired out the door because he thought it was a criminal trying to break in or a burglar. And he ended up shooting at the cops, and the cops shot and killed him in front of his grandson because he was trying to protect him. Because the cops didn't want to announce, "Hey, we're the police." And then the cops were like, "Well, he shot at us. He shot at us first." What do you expect? He don't know who he was.
Right. Yep. And that's an old saying. Dead men tell no tales. And the cops believe that as well. Dead men tell no tales. So make sure they're shot dead so they can't speak out against you.
Yeah.
And tell the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they got away with it for years and years and years. Now electronic devices are getting to the point they can't get away with it no more.
Nope.
So,
It's crazy.
yeah.
In my opinion, if civil war happens, I hope and pray it doesn't for the second civil war, but it's gonna be law enforcement against civilians.
Well, it ain't going to be a civil war. It'll be the United States people against the United States government. So therefore, it'd be a revolutionary war.
Yeah.
True. I'm not that good with my history.
Right. Just think about this. Okay. The government back in the time when we had our Revolutionary War was the King of England. Okay.
Yeah.
And our Revolutionary War was fought against the King of England. Okay.
Yeah.
So think of it that way. Okay.
Yes.
The Civil War was for states' rights and really wasn't against the government.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. There's your differences.
Mm-hmm. My uncle's got this book that I've been trying to get into reading. I've read parts and bits of it, but it's a book called Behold a Pale Horse.
It's what now?
Called Behold a Pale Horse. It talks about the government and everything.
Oh yeah. Yep. Our government is not. I can't believe there are people that are so blinded as to not know what the government's doing to them.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it, but there is, and there's so many of them, and it's mind blowing. It's mind boggling what they are allowing the government to do to them.
Yeah.
And then Biden himself, right out of his own mouth, we the people, the government. Yeah, he believes the government is we the people.
Wow.
And he said it right out of his own mouth in his address to the to the Congress.
Wow.
Okay. So needless to say, that right there shows you how mentally unstable people are in the freaking government.
Yeah. And this is how I look at it. All these mental problems that the cops be having and all these shootings and stuff that the cops don't try to, save somebody instead of just say they just want to kill them. It's like my uncle that's in the Army. When I talked to him years ago when I lived with him, he was talking about the same situation. He's like, we go to war, and I can't remember exactly how he said it, but if they can take the enemies hostage or take the enemies out and talk to them and investigate them without having to shoot to kill or kill them, our police force should be able to do it. And the military have worse problems than the police force does, and the police force can't even get it done, but the military can.
That I agree, ECCW. Government needs to be held to the Constitution, not restructured.
Yep.
That I agree with.
You have 3 watching.
That's what they want you to believe, Dragon. But if you actually read the Constitution, it was supposed to be set in stone. And they even wrote another one, the other part of it.
The 10 Commandments?
No. You had the Constitution and then the
Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights confirmed that. Okay. It's written in stone. It was never to be molested at all. It was never to be a project. It was never to be rewritten as time goes on.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm just using your statement there. I knew you knew that, Dragon. I just want to, maybe, someone else might see this and might think that was right. And then now they got the corresponding reference that they could go to see what I'm saying is true, if they wish to do that and realize, hey, You know, I was just using your thing as a way to speak through it, to hopefully maybe get to more than one person out there. You know what I'm saying? Let's hope. You know. Hey, free to Phil, Florida. How are you? Yeah. I agree. They should be actually, honestly, I think they should be tried as treasonous to people against the United States. Treasonous, not given a chance to stay alive, because a treasonous person gets to be executed.
Right.
Okay. Any fans singing to me? Oh my God. I'm getting serenaded by any fan and don't even know it.
But in my opinion, I feel like the police and law enforcement in the United States that are all over the United States need to be trained better. Just like in my opinion, they should be trained like the military to do proper procedures instead of wrongful procedures.
Well, here's the thing: if I was to do exactly what I've seen cops getting away with left and right, okay. If I was to do that, or you were to do that, or we got our own little gang together and we did the gang activities of these cops, we would be tried, imprisoned, possibly executed for being terrorists to the United States.
Yep.
I mean, so that so how do they get away with it when the United States people can't get away with it?
Yep.
It makes no sense. If I shot someone, let's say right here in New York, and I said they had a mental problem, I would still go to jail. I would still go to prison, most likely. Where they here in New York can say, oh, that guy had a mental problem, and they get a medal.
Yep. They showed favoritism.
Mm-hmm. It's insane.
That's just like that last video that I showed you with the chief here. They didn't say the officer was on desk duty or the officer was this or the officer was that. They didn't get no information on the officer that shot him.
Mm-hmm. You know, people there for a while were calling them properly, and I'd like to go back to calling them that. They are blue ISIS.
Yeah, I used to hear them be called that all the time.
And they sure are. They are blue ISIS. They are doing no different than what ISIS has done. And we went to war with them.
Yeah.
Okay, they're doing no different. In my opinion, there's no different. And it's getting worse in this country. Every day, it's getting worse. More and more. You know, I mean, arresting people for you know, it's like that fucking cop said. I was watching Ybor, okay, News Now Ybor City. He's out of Florida, okay. That's where Ybor City is. It's just outside of Tampa. And he was being told by a cop he couldn't arrest a guy in Florida for a simple domestic assault. Bullshit. By Florida law, it requires them to arrest him. But the reason he didn't want to arrest him was the guy that assaulted him was a security officer.
Wow.
Okay. But the law of Florida, if I assaulted you, let's say I come up to you, Preston, and snatched your camera out of your hand and broke it, okay, by the way the law is written in Florida, that is a jailable offense due to it being a physical assault.
Yeah, it's an extension of your body.
Right. So, needless to say, That cop straight up lied to News Now Ybor, saying he couldn't arrest him because it was a simple assault and the law don't provide for him to arrest him. Yes, it does. It actually requires him by state law to arrest him in Florida. So the cop straight up bald-faced lied to him. And it freaking pissed me off to see that. All because that other guy was a thin blue line sucker.
Wow.
That is true. The cops get slapped on the wrist and say, "Don't do it again," and we get slapped with handcuffs if we do it.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Even if they make it up and make a false charge of you doing a simple assault, they'll take you to jail. I know. I went to jail for 7 days before bail was posted for me. And then I had to prove myself innocent in the court of law. I thought you were innocent until proven guilty. No, I had to prove myself innocent in that court of law because the state's attorney kept saying they had a video, and they never had the video because you can't have a video of something I did not do. And I kept telling them that. And but they wanted me to keep pleading out. I said, absolutely not. I'm not pleading out on shit. I said, we'll take it to a jury trial. You know, even the last day I was in court on it, my public pretender said, well, here's the final offer of plea offer they're giving you. I said, that's fine. I ain't taking it. Hold on.
Yeah, those public pretenders make me laugh.
Give me 1 second. All right. But what I was saying, that public pretender offered that, and I sat there. I made up my mind right then and there. I didn't want this public pretender no more. So when the judge came out right in front of the judge, God, and everybody, I said, "You're fired." And she looked at me and said, "You can't do that." And the judge spoke up before I could and said, "Yes, he can."
Yes, you have the right.
Just like for the little bit I was down locked up and everything. One guy was in there. He got charged with assault with a deadly weapon because somebody said that he had a knife, but they never found the knife. They did an investigation, they did a research, they did all kinds of stuff. Never found a knife, but they're still trying to charge him with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. There's no weapon, and he had a public defender, and she wasn't doing her job, so he got a paid attorney, and he got out because he got out scot free because there was no weapon at all.
Yep. See, I got lucky with that judge. I'll tell you that now. I gotta say, God put that judge in my path. Okay, because I've seen how judges throughout the United States act and do. This judge actually let me speak frankly in her courtroom, as long as I was respectful. I told her my side and what I thought. And I told her you can't have a video of something I did not do. So therefore, if you do go past today and a video does surface, I'm going to have to ask the state to analyze the video, and I'm going to ask for a copy of the video so I can have my people analyze the video as well to see for truth of authenticity. And the judge says, "You still don't have that video, huh?" She said, "No, we don't." She said, "Well, I don't think you can have a video of something that he didn't do. You're not guilty. Get out of my courtroom." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting it to go that way, because of the way judges normally act." And as I'm walking out the courtroom, she's going off on that state's attorney. and telling her never to waste the court's time like that again, never to waste the taxpayers' money like that again, and so on and so forth. So I honestly believe that judge was put in my path by God.
That's what it sounds like.
Because she was not happy about it. She wasn't playing. And I sure in the hell wasn't going to plead guilty for something I absolutely did not do. And that's what they wanted me to do. And I wasn't doing it. I was not doing it. So that state's attorney, by the way, I was her first loss. She lost her first case due to me. It was great. I put a blemish on that bitch's record.
Right.
Because she was so good at drawing this shit out to try to get people to plead guilty for lesser charges or lesser fines, lesser whatevers, and try to buffalo them into thinking, oh yeah, we got this. But I blew them out of the water when I said I would have to ask the state to analyze the video, and I would for authenticity, and I would have to ask for a copy of the video to take to my people for authenticity tests as well. That blew it out of the water.
Wow.
And you could see the look on the judge's face. That's where it got blown out of the water. When I was willing to do that, and actually let the state do it and then have my own people do it. That's really what got her. Because I wanted a copy of it so I could take it to my people and let them do authenticity tests on it. That's what blew it out. You can see it in her face, and she wasn't willing to go through that for something as minor as a simple assault, which if most people would have done it, they would have taken $150 fucking fine. That's what it was. That's what I was offered immediately after I spent the 7 days in jail. I was offered $150 fine as long as I pled guilty to it. I said, I ain't going to plead guilty to nothing I didn't do. We can go take it to a jury trial.
Right. That way they can prove everything that they said has happened.
Yeah. And they weren't wanting to do that. Not for what they were wanting to do was try to generate revenue.
Yep. Because every time you request a jury trial, it costs the state money.
Yep.
Because they got to pay those 12 people that are sitting in those chairs to listen to a story that doesn't even exist.
Yep. Maybe you're right, Dragon. It might have been trying to do that for practice, but I hate to tell you, as far as I know, I'm the only blemish on her perfect record. So, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud to say I'm her blemish. I am her blemish.
All right, guys, I'm fixing to get off. It's been an hour and 35 minutes. Thanks everybody for coming in. Tammy, thank you for coming on my panel and discussing what we discussed. And I appreciate everybody out there in the panel, and I appreciate everybody in the chat.
Well, I appreciate you having me, man. I enjoyed it.
There's my nephew.
And I will have another panel as soon as I can come up with another one, or I'm gonna try to do one once a week, or maybe twice a week. I'm not sure yet, but if I do, I'm gonna try to send out notifications. So hopefully next time everybody will get notifications.
Yeah, I was glad to see a lot of people came in here, even if they were a little late on it. I'm glad to see them. You had a pretty good little turnout.
Right. Dragon ET, thank you for coming in. ECCW, NE Fan, and everybody else that was out there, thank y'all for stopping in, and I will talk to y'all later, and y'all have a wonderful night, and I love the whole community. Y'all be safe out there.
Yeah, you too, News Now Preston, everybody else out there, have a good night. News Now Nephew, remember, Bring your phone with you. You never know when you might run across something.
I am.
Yeah, he carries it. He carries it with him now.
Good. That was a bad nephew the other night. A bad nephew.
All right, guys. Tammy, I'll talk to you later on a panel, or if you see one, I'll be on yours, or I'll probably catch you on another panel sometime, just tonight or whenever.
Yeah, right now my head's hurting so bad I'm probably going to go to sleep.
All right.
Or at least try to close my eyes. I probably won't sleep. I hardly ever sleep. But I'm going to at least close my eyes for a little bit, and hopefully this headache will go away.
All right. You be safe out there, Tammy.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
You
I'm
too.
out.
Bye.